Good morning, good morning. Come on in. I had a thought, and so I'm gonna go forward with that thought, and it probably likely could be a big fail, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'll tell you my thought when you come in, once you log in, and join me. If you're watching live, say hey. Hey, hey, Renee. Good morning, my friend. Happy February. Hey, Carrie. All right. I swapped plans. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Randy. I was going to make lemon herb chicken, and then I was like, well, I just skipped right over the pot roast. So the next recipe in the cookbook was What You Want Mexican Chicken, I think it's called. What was it called? What You Want Mexican Chicken. It's chicken and salsa. I think we can all figure out how to make chicken and salsa quick. I'm wicked dizzy this morning. Holy Hannah. Hopefully I won't tip over on camera. See, yesterday afternoon I drank 2 cups of my coffee and it was all good. This morning I made my coffee and I was like, oh, I'm going to put my baking soda in it. And then I forgot and I just drank half a cup and already my stomach is toast. I did. I decided on pot roast. It's really not going to be pot roast. So the next recipe was the What You Want Mexican Chicken. It's chicken and salsa. I think y'all can figure that one out on your own. I have faith in you that you can make Mexican chicken on your own. Let me get some. Oh, did I forget chicken broth? Can I ever get through a video without going out into the garage? I don't think I have any. Maybe I have a tiny bit. Every time I think I have all my ingredients, whoops, ready, I find out quickly that I do not. All right, I'm putting some chicken broth in my pan. I'm going to warm it up. Okay, so What You Want Mexican Chicken was the next one. And then after that was butter chicken. Butter, not butter. Butter chicken. I ain't making that. I ain't making it. I've tried it once before, and it is not my jam. If y'all like that, you can go ahead. But that garam masala, nope, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm jumping forward, and I'm making pot roast. Obviously, pot roast is something that takes a long time to cook. But basically, it's meat and potatoes, right? So here's radishes. I'm going to cook them up. I'm going to hope that I can cook them quickly on the stovetop in a little bit of chicken broth. I've got maybe, I'm going to add a couple more. I've got like 4 or 5 radishes there. I buy my radishes from the grocery store already ready to cook. They're cleaned. The ends are cut off. They're ready to go. They don't take a lot of effort. And I like to cut them like this. So they're already, the tops and bottoms of these are already cut off. I like to cut it in the middle, cut down a couple pieces this way. So it's kind of like going towards matchstick. And then I go the other way. Usually they don't fall apart out of my hands like that, like this one did. And then I have little tiny diced pieces and they cook much quicker. And they smell like a fart flower when they cook. So fair warning, they're going to stink. And then this pot roast also has celery and it also has onions. You guys don't have any onions. Onions is a critical component to pot roast, stovetop pot roast, but I don't have any onions. So we're just going to pretend with onion powder. Good morning, friends. Look at all these beautiful people here. I'm going to cut up a stalk of celery. You don't have to use a whole stalk. I mean, the recipe calls for 8 stalks. The family size recipe, but I'm going to add just 1 stalk and I'm going to cut it really tiny, dice it really tiny so it cooks up quick. And I'm going to cry that I don't have any onions because onions Onions are the best part of pot roast, but I guess I need to start buying my onions at the Sam's Club because I go through a lot of them. All right, so I've chopped up some radishes really tiny. I'm chopping up my celery really tiny, and I'm chopping up my pretend onion. Okay, there's my onion. That's going in here. And I'm going to put a cover on that, and I'm going to let it cook just a little bit to tenderize. This is going to be more like, whoop, that ain't going to fit. Hold up. I love having my pots and pans in a drawer. All right, I'm gonna cook that to get it nice and tender. Kimberly, I need to get some. I don't have any minced dried onion. I don't have any frozen onions. I need to get some onion thingies. So this recipe has a big old chuck roast, but I'm using a little old skinny thin cut ribeye that's in my fridge. I actually got two there. I'm going to cook the other one up right beside it, and I'm going to feed it to Tilson later. But I'm going to cook one of these. It's got some seasonings. It's got radishes, celery, and it cooks low and slow to get super tender. Scrape 99% of that celery in the garbage, and what's left, how much celery I might tolerate in anything. I used to hate Carrie. I used to hate celery. Now I love it. I love it. It's got to be cooked right. I like it either raw with cream cheese or super, super tender. If it's cooked really tender, then I love it. If it's crunchy in my roast or anything, I'm out. I'm out. All right, I'm going to slap some seasonings in there. Basic pot roast. Their basic pot roast has just got a few seasonings. I'm going to put garlic and onion powder in mine. That's not listed on theirs. Garlic. And this is going to be pink. This is going to be pink pot roast hash. That's what we're going to call it. Meat and potatoes. Whole lot of seasoning. My basic go-to: salt, pepper, onion, garlic. All right, just going to tenderize it. And then we'll add in our meat. It's going to be easy. I wanted that chicken Florentine again for breakfast today, but Rush morning out the door meant a smoothie. Isn't that chicken so good? So good. That chicken yesterday was seriously delicious. Seriously delicious. I'm going to get out me a little pan. And I'm going to heat it up, and I'm going to cook. I got two ribeyes here. These are little skinny ribeyes. They're just little skinny things. One of them I'm going to cut up for me, and the other one I'm going to cook it up real quick and stick it in the fridge, and Tilson can eat it. I'm just going to slap it in there and let it cook. It'll be fine. I'll stick it in a sandwich or something for Tilson later, so he can have some steak and not be jelly that I'm getting to eat beef and he isn't. If you're watching this video live, or even not live, if you're watching, I would love if you would consider giving this video a share on your Facebook or on your YouTube, or a like, a comment. All of that helps me out, and I really appreciate it. Today, you guys, starts the February Faith Challenge in my Holy Healthy with KJ starts today. The February group. We're restoring faith in February. So if you are a woman of faith and you are not making faith a big part, and I don't mean Faith Sharp, she's already a big part of our journey, but if you are not making your faith in Christ a big part of your health journey, then you need to join me today in Holy Healthy as we talk about restoring faith in our health journey and how they intertwine. They intertwine pretty big, okay? So come join me. It's $169, but if you go out on YouTube and look at the webinar that I posted the other night, there is a promo code to save you $15, and you will get to be part of the February Faith Challenge starting today. Steph's going to post a little bit later in the group today. And it's going to be a good group to be part of. I think you'll like it. All right, how's this looking over here? Is it tender? It's already cooked out all the liquid. Let me see if the veggies are tender yet. Yeah, look at that. My radishes are already tender. My celery is not quite. So I need just a little more chicken broth. Hold, please. I need to place me a Sam's Club order for chicken broth too. I've been going through a lot of it. These stovetop recipes. All right. Chicken broth. I got 1 box left. All right. Guess it's time to place a Sam's order for some chicken broth. Am I the only one that only ever buys chicken broth and it doesn't matter if you're cooking beef or chicken, you just use chicken broth? Because it's just meat broth. I just call it meat broth. All right, I'm going to let that cook just a little bit longer so that my celery gets tendered, becomes tender. Why does that sound funny? Why does the word tender sound funny? The more I say it, tender. The more I say it, the weirder it gets. I got some leftover baked potatoes. I'm going to fry those up and make some hash, and Tilson will have dinner already. Dinner will be cooked for Tony. Thanks, Donna. Isn't it cute? I bought it yesterday. I thought it was cute. It's long and flowy and covers things. And it's got little birds on it. Little bitty birdies. I love it. Anybody else remember that movie, Bird on a Wire? All I could think about was Goldie Hawn when I saw this shirt. I said, I need that shirt. It reminds me of Goldie Hawn. Because there's a whole bunch of birds on a wire. And it's comfy and cozy and flowy and ooh, these radishes, y'all. All right, I'm gonna let that juice cook on out of there. And then I'm gonna add some meat and some seasonings, and it's gonna be good. Makes you think of Hitchcock's Birds. I was thinking sweet Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell movies, but we can go with Hitchcock. Hey Kay, welcome. Welcome. There's something stanky in that bottom fridge, and I can't figure out what it is. There's nothing, well, it might be the, ooh, those are pretty questionable. It might be this. Might be that. I don't know. There's a few moderately questionable things in there that probably should be thrown out. This is an exciting video. For the birds from Pixar, Lindy Tilson is my husband. His name is Tony, but he doesn't show his face, so he's like Wilson from Home Improvement, so we call him Tilson. We call him Tilson. All right, I'll put, let's see. That liquid is almost gone. I get the hiccups. That's not a hair. That's a stalky piece of celery. I don't like that. I don't like it when my celery gets, you know what I mean? Renee. I watched that movie when I was young too. I remember mom and dad watching it. And I remember thinking then that it was kind of nuts. Oh, this would be so much better with a big old onion in there. All right, Tilson's got himself a old steak for later. All done. That was easy. This is how I prep meals. This is one of my favorite ways to prep. Okay, this isn't THM. Okay, you can eat these on THM, but they're high glycemic, and if you're not at goal weight, you should avoid these. Maybe a treat at Christmas or a birthday. Just these should not be a regular part of your diet. These are russets, and they're high glycemic. They are on plan. They're just high glycemic. But this is how I do I mean, have you ever seen a more measly russet potato? What the heck? Renee, what do you think of these? From a fellow Mainer. Isn't this hilarious? These russets, they're pathetic, but nonetheless, this is how I make this is how I make quick meals for my husband. That because I'm not going to eat what he's going to eat, and he's not going to eat what I'm going to eat. I still have some chili in the fridge that I'm going to make. So I just cooked him up that ribeye. I'll heat it up later. It would be better fresh, but listen, I got things to do. But when I throw a russet in the oven, I throw 8 to 10 russets in the oven because they're puny. And Marin and Tilson will both eat too because I mean, when you scrape the potato out of that, there's about a quarter cup. So they'll eat too. But I've got leftovers. So now, and they're all washed, I'll dice them up and put them in butter and fry them up and they'll make hash and they'll go perfectly with that ribeye. And Tony will have a nice meat and potato dinner because that's what he likes is meat and potatoes. All right. My radishes and my celery are all cooked up. I'm going to add a little bit of fat to this pan to cook my steak in, AKA my pot roast, if I can get the butter out of the thing. It's all empty in here. I gotta, whoop. All right, I'm going to throw a little bit of butter in there, a couple teaspoons, because I just cooked my radish and stuff in no fat. Okay. Right, Alice? Is that not hilarious? Alice, I want to talk to you about when you are getting ready to plan to come to the retreat. Don't let me forget to ask you about your flight plan. And if there's any way we can coordinate your flight home with Mama Joyful so she doesn't have to fly alone. She's a little scared. So, okay, am I making this recipe exactly as it is in the book? No, I am turning the flavors of the book into a recipe that works for me. I'm not making stovetop pot roast, okay? I am making a meal with the same flavors, okay, from here that suit my needs. So this recipe has gravy in it, okay? It's pot roast with radish toast. I struggle with the term radish toast. Can we call them red potatoes instead of radish toes? The recipe says radish toes and gravy. So here's what I've got. I've got too much heat, first of all. I've got fried up potatoes and a little bit of steak. Radish toes, red potatoes, okay? It's like a hash. So I've got all the flavors. Now, if I want gravy, here's what I'm going to do. If I want the gravy that's in the book, I've got all this stuff stuck to the bottom of the pan, okay? There's some fat in there. There's some beef fat in there. I'm just going to pour a little chicken broth in there to deglaze the bottom of the pan to get all the yummy bits that are on the bottom of the pan. There's some fat and some beef. And I'm going to throw in a little bit of Bragg's and a little bit of Worcestershire and some thickener. And it's going to make a little gravy to go on top of my hash and steak. Easy peasy. Worcestershire is going to make it taste even more savory and meaty. I like meaty. I like meat. All right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I like meat. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Let me get a little gluck. A little glooky gluck's going to thicken it up. And then I'm going to pour it on top. Yeah, it's 4 ounces. It doesn't look like much. I think we so often overdo our protein. We way underdo our protein and overdo it at the same time. A lot of times we'll have like beans and think it's enough protein. But when we say 3 to 4 ounces of chicken or beef to be 25 grams, that's 3 ounces. I measured these out when I got them because I wanted to understand, is that like I could eat 3 of those, y'all. I could easily eat 3 of those, but the fat that I'm adding into my meal by having 3 of those is way more than my body needs. Now, if that was lean protein, I could do way more than 3 to 4 ounces and be okay and get lots and lots of protein. But this has got a lot of fat in it. So this is I think it was 3.5 ounces. It's plenty of protein. It's probably 25 grams of protein right there. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of Glucki, just a tiny bit, like a 1/4 teaspoon. You could do xanthan, but I'm going to do about that much. And I'm going to put it in my Worcestershire and my broth stuff. And I'm just going to give it a little whiz and hopefully let it thicken a little. And it should thicken enough to make kind of like a saucy gravy to pour over that. I don't need it if I just want to have the hash and potatoes. I could put an egg with this, would be really good. I think an egg would be really good, but I'm just gonna put the gravy and the radishes and yum, yum. I like, look at that. Look at that sauce, okay? Do you see that? The Worcestershire, that's not in the recipe, but it adds so much. Look at this thick, almost like savory sauce that I'm going to put over my hash. You guys, it's going to be so flavorful and so good. And I'm actually going to eat now because I had my drink a couple hours ago and I am hungry. It did not hold me over today. And part of that is because I had my coffee without that baking soda and my stomach is feeling wonky. So I got to get some fuel in there because my stomach's blah, blah. I got to remember the baking soda. So look, it's like hash and gravy. Serious. I got a ton of fiber from my veggies, a ton of flavor. I just want to try that sauce by itself. You know what that tastes like? Oh, what did that taste like? It tastes like something. I can't think of what it tastes like, but it's real good. All right, so here's my hash and my roast. Okay. Oh, that is good. Okay. You could use cube steak. You could use ground beef. You could use chicken. I love things really savory. That umami. Yes! Carrie, you nailed it. That is exactly what it tastes like. That, I knew the second I bit into that, I'm like, that just tastes like childhood, and I don't know why. Why does that taste like my childhood? That is why. Oh, Carrie, you nailed it. That tastes exactly like the sauce on the Salisbury steak. I mean, yeah, kinda, a little, Shirley. No, no. So I like things really savory. That umami flavor is usually pretty salty, which is what that Bragg's and that Worcestershire gave me. It's pretty salty for me in a good way. I like that. Now, some people may eat this and go, oh, that's too salty for me. My husband would take one bite of this and say, I can't eat that. That's too salty. It's that very, very flavorful, salty flavor, but not, to me, not overly salty. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what it tastes like. It tastes like a TV dinner. Congratulations. It tastes like the gravy from a TV dinner. That is delicious, savory flavor. That is good. That is good, y'all. I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna go eat right now. Can dogs eat celery? Well, even if they can't, that little tiny bit ain't gonna hurt them. Can dogs eat radishes? Does anybody know? Somebody tell me if dogs can eat radishes. I think I'm going to pass up the rest of my coffee today and have myself a little. Listen, I'll show you real quick. This is what I drink all day long. I drink half a cup of coffee. I think I'm good. I might have a cup later. But I'll show you what I make all day. I have a Ninja Thirsty. If you haven't seen it, let me show you. Can you see it from there at all? This is my Ninja Thirsty. I'm not going to pull it all the way out. You probably can't see it really well from there, but I choose the sparkling setting, how much sparkle I want and how much water. And then I just hit start and I brew myself some sparkling water. My girl turns up her nose at veggies. She loves some meat and cheese and bread. Yes to radishes. And okay, you want to try radish? You want to give everybody a show? All right, let me tilt this up so you can see the dog better. You want to come over here and give everybody a show? Easy peasy. Can you dance? No. You got to perform. Can you dance? Sebastian, dance. Can you take a bow? Take a bow. Oh, you're so easy now. He seems to like it. He seems to like it. Can you take a bow? Take a bow. Oh, you're so good. Whoop. Come here. My goodness, you can't stand up today. High five. How about this one? Can you? I don't know any other tricks. We just do dance. Can we dance? Dance. Oh, he couldn't catch a cold. He's so bad at catching food. Whoops, I'm going to let my seltzer overflow. I let it fill up 8 ounces at a time, and then I pour it in my cup. And sometimes I forget, and I come over there, and there's water flowing all over my counter. All right, this is my favorite drink. I drink this. What's that sound? Hold on. Okay. Apparently, my husband's in the other room setting the alarm and scaring the living daylights out of me. All right, this is my favorite drink. Seltzer and cherry hydrates. Sorry, I heard the beeping. I don't know if you can hear the beeping, but it's in my head. I could hear it, and I thought something was wrong. But apparently, it was my husband setting the security alarm from the other room and scaring the living daylights out of me. Sorry. All right, that's my favorite drink right there. Seltzer and cherry hydrates. I'll drink that all day long. And I'm going to go eat my TV dinner. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Please come join me in Holy Healthy. You will not regret it. I want nothing more. You thought I was being raptured because of the beeping, huh? Yes, the rapture isn't going to sound like a trumpet, Shirley. It's going to sound like a security system going beep, 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 beep. Lord, is that you? Thank you for being part of my journey. I hope you will be part of Holy Healthy. If you choose not to be part of Holy Healthy New Year, February, March, get ready for Holy Healthy Spring because it is coming for April, May, and June, and it's going to be fabulous. I really want to help mentor you on your way to healing, and both spiritual and physical. So, all right, my friends, I love you so much.